Let's summarize the plot of Candide. In the introduction, readers meet Candide, a naive and curious young man who lives in Westphalia, Germany, with his uncle's noble family on a large estate. He and his two cousins, Cunégonde and the young baron, are tutored by philosopher Pangloss. Candide is thrown out of the castle for kissing Cunégonde, whom he ardently adores. During the rising action, Candide has a stint in the Bulgar army, but ends up in Holland, where he meets a kind Anabaptist. He's also reunited with Pangloss. Candide learns Cunégonde and the young baron were killed by Bulgars. Pangloss and Candide accompany the Anabaptist to Portugal. When a violent storm rises and the Anabaptist is killed, Pangloss and Candide make it to the shore just as an earthquake demolishes the city. They're soon arrested by an agent of the Inquisition. Pangloss is hanged for heresy. Candide is publicly whipped. An old woman helps Candide recover and then takes him to Cunégonde, who's still alive, living as a sexual servant to a Jew and the Grand Inquisitor. Candide kills both of the men when they come for their nightly visit. Candide, Cunégonde, and the old woman flee the country, sailing to South America, where Candide is to command Spanish troops against the Jesuit-led revolt of indigenous peoples. Cunégonde remains in Buenos Aires to marry the governor for her own safety, while Candide and his valet Cacambo escape to Paraguay, where Candide plans to join Spain's opposition. The commander of the border post is none other than the young baron, now a Jesuit priest. When the young baron learns Candide wants to marry Cunégonde, he forbids him to do so, and Candide tries to kill him. Candide and Cacambo flee to the golden city of El Dorado, but decide to return to Europe with their riches. The king sends them off with 100 llamas carrying treasure and provisions. Cacambo returns to Buenos Aires to get Cunégonde, while Candide makes arrangements to sail to Venice, where they will all meet. Swindled by numerous people, he loses nearly everything he has, particularly to a thieving ship captain. He hires another traveling companion, Martine, and the two set off for Europe. After being cheated and seduced in Paris, Candide and Martine finally arrive in Venice. Cacambo reappears as a slave of a deposed king, and Cunégonde is a house slave in Turkey. The trio reunite with Pangloss and the young baron, who are serving as galley slaves below deck. Candide buys their freedom and then does the same for Cunégonde and the old woman when they are reunited in Turkey. In the climax of Candide, Candide and Cunégonde are reunited, though Cunégonde has grown ugly and mean. Candide doesn't want to marry her anymore, but goes through with it anyway out of his promise to do so. Candide buys a small farm and sends the young baron back to the galleys. During the falling action, everyone else settles into mutual unhappiness. They go to the local philosopher who tells them good and evil are none of their business. An old farmer invites them into his home. The farmer's happiness is the product of hard work, good company, and meaningful purpose in his life. Candide and his friends decide to attempt a similar existence on their farm. In the resolution, Candide wants to focus on his garden and find contentment in hard work.